Today, we dive into the intriguing story of Alan Rhuby, a miner ensnared by the allure of a glittering world. Under the shimmering facade of affluence lies a tale that will grip your heart and not let go. Witness the treacherous draw of materialism, the fragile ties that hold a family together, and the dangerous mirage of a perfect life. Join us on this eye-opening journey. Alan Rhuby's 17-year-old life read like a highlight reel of opulence. He was a self-proclaimed up-and-comer, unabashedly flaunting his luxurious lifestyle across social media platforms. But his story unfolds like a cautionary tale, one that spirals from the halls of privilege to the harrowing depths of criminality. The world watched in disbelief as the details came to light. Alan's uncontainable appetite for wealth, his parents' struggle to rein in his extravagance. Alan attended a prestigious private high school in the city. The school was known for its rigorous academic curriculum and a student body that hailed from the city's elite. On paper, Alan was a model student, good grades, involved in extracurricular activities, and even a member of the school's chess club. Alan's circle of friends was a mix of fellow high achievers and some rebellious spirits. He was known to oscillate between these two groups. Some described him as a chameleon, able to blend seamlessly depending on the crowd. Most of his friends were unaware of the pressures and troubles brewing in his life, as Alan mastered the art of wearing a mask of normality in public. His close friends later revealed that beneath the surface, Alan often expressed feelings of inadequacy and pressure, especially from his family, to uphold their status. But no one ever suspected that these feelings would drive him to commit such a horrifying act. Alan Rhuby's younger sister, Catherine Rhuby, was often overshadowed by the domineering presence of her brother. The two shared a complicated relationship. While on the surface, their Instagram photos painted a picture of sibling love and unity. Behind the scenes, there was tension. Growing up, Catherine was the quiet achiever. She was studious, with a passion for literature and art. While Alan was flashy and materialistic, often flaunting his latest purchases and status symbols on social media, Catherine preferred the world of novels and sketchbooks. Despite their differences, there was an undeniable bond. Catherine, in her younger years, looked up to Alan as her protector. However, as Alan became more engrossed in the allure of materialism and status, their bond strained. Alan's continuous need for validation often led him to overshadow Clara's achievements, making her feel insignificant. As the years passed, their relationship was marred by episodes of jealousy and rivalry. Catherine, tired of being compared and outshined, started to distance herself. By the time they were in their late teens, their relationship had become purely transactional, with rare moments of genuine connection. Still, no one could have predicted the tragedy that was to unfold. The fact that Alan could commit such a heinous act against his own family, including Catherine, sent shockwaves through their community. It raised questions about the very nature of their relationship and the depths of Alan's disconnect from reality and empathy. Joy Rhuby, Alan's mother, was known in their community for her charitable work and gentle spirit. She often organized community events and was a pillar of support for many. Her bond with Alan had been especially close when he was younger. They would spend weekends on mother-son outings, exploring parks or visiting local museums. However, as Alan grew older and became more engrossed in the world of materialism and social media, their relationship began to strain. She tried to guide him and hoped he'd see beyond the superficial allure of wealth, but the divide between them grew. John Rhuby, on the other hand, was a successful businessman. He'd built his empire from scratch and believed in the values of hard work and perseverance. Witnessing Alan's increasing obsession with material possessions and wealth without the willingness to put in the work deeply concerned him. John often attempted to instill in Alan the values he held dear, leading to numerous clashes between father and son. John's approach, which combined tough love with the intention of guiding his son towards the right path, unfortunately seemed to push Alan further away. Joy often found herself playing mediator between Alan and John, trying to bridge the widening gap. This put additional strain on her as she tried to keep the family together. The parents were united in their love for their children and their desire to provide a nurturing environment. However, the growing challenges with Alan overshadowed the harmony they once had. In a quiet, upscale neighborhood, a tragedy unfolded that no one saw coming. On a seemingly average day in November 2022, Rosemary, a neighbor of the Rhuby family, felt something was amiss when she noticed their house was eerily quiet and deserted. After making a distressing 911 call, the wheel of investigation began to turn. Soon enough, FBI Special Agent Jeremy Engel arrived, eventually followed by Alan Rhuby himself, whose reaction set off the first of many red flags. Alan Rhuby's performance at the crime scene was nothing short of an Oscar-worthy act, one that could fool even the most discerning eyes, at least for a moment. 1 second, he's as stoic as a statue. The next, he's drenched in tears, wailing like a Shakespearean actor facing his tragic end. But like a record scratch in an upbeat song, something about his act felt off, almost scripted. Now, rewind the tape just 48 hours earlier. John Rhuby, Alan's father, had dialed 911 in a voice tinged with worry, maybe even fear. The concern? A missing 9mm weapon from their home safe. The suspected culprit? None other than Alan. Cue the red flags, the blaring sirens, and the glaring neon sign that reads, "Something's not right here." Alan struck in the dead of night, when the world was cloaked in darkness and his family lay sleeping, vulnerable and unsuspecting. Like a thief who knows exactly where the treasure is hidden, Alan moved from room to room, ending the lives of those who had given him life and love. After the ghastly act, he moved their lifeless bodies to the basement, transforming a space once likely used for storage or perhaps family activities into a macabre vault. He then proceeded to clean the crime scenes, almost like a janitor after a messy event. This was no ordinary mess and certainly no ordinary cleanup. Interestingly, he didn't choose immediate disposal. Perhaps he pondered what to do next, with the bodies lying in the basement as grim reminders of his incomprehensible act. Or maybe he was waiting for the dark cover of night to execute the next phase of his plan. But before he could proceed with his plan, detectives intervened. His cover-up unraveled, foiled by his own sloppiness. Fingerprints, failed polygraphs, and ultimately, his confession. The story of Alan Rhuby's court hearing reads like a courtroom drama, except with stakes far too real and consequences irreversible. From the moment Alan walked in, the tension was palpable, like the static before a storm. Clad in an emotionless mask, he almost seemed to glide to the defense table. But as the prosecution began laying out their case, meticulously piecing together the puzzle of evidence, cracks started appearing in Alan's composed facade. The focal point of the prosecution's case was the gun, the missing 9mm weapon that Alan's father had reported 2 days before the family's disappearance. When the ballistic report matched the shell casings found at the crime scene to that very gun, it felt like the walls closed in on Alan. Imagine standing on a precipice, the ground beneath your feet unstable, a bottomless abyss looming before you. That's the emotional landscape Alan Rhuby must have traversed as he awaited his sentence. There's an air of finality in the courtroom, a feeling of crossing a point of no return. When the gavel falls, it's like the sound of a door slamming shut, echoing through the caverns of Alan's future. As the judge began to speak, outlining the severity of the crimes committed, wiping out an entire family for the lure of material wealth, you could feel the room collectively holding its breath. The condemnation was harsh but expected. Alan received multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. As the judge read out the sentence, it felt like watching a tower of dominoes collapse, manually set up but felled in an instant. If justice were a tapestry, this moment would be the knot that ties all the threads together, unambiguous and final. But it's more than just a sentence. It's a societal indictment. The judgment serves as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder about the dangers of prioritizing material gain over human life. It's like a weathered signpost on a winding road, warning travelers of the treacherous path ahead. The courtroom was silent as Alan was led away, but the message rang loud and clear. Justice had been served, but at an unimaginable cost. It leaves us pondering the values that we hold dear, making us question whether our collective compass needs recalibration. What are your thoughts on this chilling case? Do you know of similar stories that showcase the dark side of wealth and family? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into intriguing and disturbing stories. Thanks for coming along on this intriguing true crime adventure with us. It's a tale that's hard to believe but emphasizes the need for awareness. Your engagement means a lot. Until we meet again, keep your eyes open, stay safe, and always dig a little deeper. See you soon.